Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to The Hole in the World, an actual play set in the world of the Invisible Sun RPG by Monte Cook Games. I am, as always, your GM, your producer, your host, Ghost with the Most, Zach, otherwise known as Great Zamino. I use he, him pronouns, and I am joined once again by a wonderful cast. Marcy, if you'd like to kick things off.
Normally. Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm still Marcy. I'm currently getting over cold, so if you hear me coughing and otherwise having a lovely raspy voice, you're welcome. That's good audio, and what can you do? But I am back regardless, playing Gavriel, the iconoclastic ardent apostate who hosts a choir.
Amazing. And moving down the overlay, Bill, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yes, I'm very scared. I'm playing Maurice Webb, a stalwart empath of the Order of Weavers who turns tales into reality.
Amazing. Moving over to the other side of the overlay, Hopper, if you would like to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Hopper. My pronouns are they, them. I'm the worst. I'm playing Okris, an iconoclastic ardent who heralds endings.
Fantastic.
The other one might show up. Who knows?
Could be. Could very well be.
We're gonna find out.
And finally, last but certainly not least, Marissa, if you want to kick it off.
Hi, I'm Marissa, and I'm also vaccinated. Hooray!
Woo!
Yeah. So if you notice my dual lovely bandages, that's because I did flu and COVID at the same time for the first time. Normally I stagger them, but I learned today and yesterday what that produces as a decision, which is efficiency, but also an increase in side effects. So be prepared for that if you do them both at the same time. I probably don't have to tell most of you.
If I puke on this recording, it's just because I'm drunk.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's very reasonable.
If I puke, it's gonna cost extra.
If I puke, regardless of what I say afterwards, it's in character.
Well, I'm doing none of that. Yeah, I'm doing none of those things. If any of you puke on camera, I'm just leaving. I'm outies.
I was going, what a segue. I have not puked as a result of vaccines. But you know what? Who knows? Maybe that would be the reason why, I would assume.
I'm drinking ginger ale, baby. You can't get me.
But anyway, I am playing Kiri von Hollingsworth, who is the first assistant librarian of the Order of the Vance, guardian of Zalestica's Grimoire, curator of King Nine's library, maven of mirrors, mistress of monikers, and she is an eremitic stoic who understands the words.
Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot has happened. We are in, once again, the darkest house, a place that hates you with every bit and board of its being, every nail and board. There we go. And some stuff has transpired in the last episode, but before we can start talking about that, we need something. I think it might be... One moment. Where did I put it? Ah, yes. Our original theme. So, prior to your departure into deeper into the house last session, you guys found yourselves traversing the Great Hall and through it going into the ballroom, a haunted, kind of jazzy room that seemed populated by a number of oblivious dancers, which after some dismay you and some horror-induced realizations you found were actually marionetted corpses that you had to traverse in order to get from that area to closer and closer to the bedroom of the sister that all of you had decided would be your next step or your next destination. this had also followed when you guys had entered into the hidden elevator that opened from the Great Hall, letting you out in the ballroom. However, you noticed that there were several other destinations that were included on the dial of the elevator, namely a place that was called the Cell, as well as the gallery, and I believe, if I refer to my map, the Boundless Room, or rather the Music Room, I should say. So from there, you exited out. You traversed a hallway that leered at you with terrifying faces, or disgruntled faces that were whispering and speaking the private thoughts that you had pertaining to each of your companions, the less gracious kind. Once again, you heard an echo of some voice of a person that had apparently accompanied Allegra into the darkest house, but of whom you saw no trace. You found your way to the sister's bedroom, as well as a means by which you may traverse through a small air duct leading into there. You found a path to what turns out was a secret chapel. That passage seemed to stretch on, but that chapel that you discovered, you realized was a source of power tied to the kaleidoscopic void, a place of lurid, scintillating color that seemed to exist inside and outside the actuality at the same time, and which was used to focus and harness the power for a terrifying, galvanizing spell, one which all of you realized had been cast by Marlowe Anvers when he had previously been in the house. It was in this moment that we find you, having avoided some of the other traps and hazards, but finding yourself in this no less terrifying space. And with that, I will change the music. So, having discovered an incantation inscribed and enclosed in the ritually desiccated and sacrificed body of a beheaded crow on a profane altar, you find yourselves discovering this terrifying script that seemed to invoke the nihilistic darkness of the dark here in what might be a font of its power. What is all of you thinking in this moment? We'll start there.
Currently thinking about how much I really can't wait to kill Marlowe. I think it would be a fun bonding exercise for all of us. I think it would bring us closer together. I think there's a lot of merit to it, and that's my proposal.
What about the rest of you? What's going through your minds?
Maurice is, so I think we saw this like ghostly apparition of, was it presumably Marlowe? Or no, it was the voice.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking over my notes. I saw a vision. I was in Saturnine, and we heard reference to the Magisterium. We heard a reference to the seat of power. Mm-hmm. And we heard a reference to the labyrinth being the only thing that we'd really heard about. Yes. And then, so also looking around, I was looking at how the candles weren't burning the wax. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at, and then there was a body of a dead raven.
Yes, absolutely. That was what was kind of desiccated and placed on the altar as kind of like an invocation of this, whatever dark rite this is.
Anything we can do? Maurice wants to know if there's anything he can do to this ritual, this invocation, after the fact, that maybe would lessen its power, or is it already done? Am I looking at the ashes of a burnt fire?
I will say, go ahead and give me a magical lore roll.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'll add 1 to it from my skills, and was that an intellect roll?
Yes, that would be intellect. You may also, if you would like to kind of employ sorcery, spend a bene there.
Nah.
Okay.
I go through that too fast. I'll spend 3 of my bene plus the 4 of my. So I'm rolling +4 to this, and I'm rolling an extra die because of the house.
Excellent. Go ahead.
All right. So we got a 13 and a 5 on the
Okay.
house die.
5 on the house die? Okay. As for a recap, in case you guys need it, remember that when the house die is higher than what you have rolled on your mundane or magical die, the house acts. However, if you roll multiple dice and with it the multiple house dice that match it, those additional dice, and they are all higher, then you invoke a doom, which you have to tangle with when you leave the house. However, I will say 13 is a very high number, but if you would like, you can invoke a doom and call upon the house for aid, and add that 5 to your roll if you want.
And that would make it an 18?
Would make it an 18.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. However, you are taking upon yourself a doom. So, mark 1 doom on your sheet.
Okay.
So, what is your intention as you reach out and you try to see what you can manipulate in this spell?
My intention is, I don't think so, Tim.
You're gonna pull an Al Borland on me?
Yeah.
Okay. So there is, I will say, this is very powerful. What was concentrated and cast here is a terrifying power. One that has a ripple that has affected and augmented the power of the caster, but has also cast long shadows over the actuality. So I will give you, in this case, as you reach out to the house, I will give you the option. You can remove the power of the caster that was augmented, or you can try to beat back some of these shadows that have been cast.
I love this. I think what I'm doing is I'm seeing, like, as I'm kind of manipulating like these magic, and I see that there was power that had cast a shadow. I'm like pulling it up, getting some tension on the shadow, and snipping it, and snipping it, and snipping it.
Amazing. In that case, I will say, so you are trying to augment the darkness and rather than sap the caster. Okay.
I think so.
I think as you call upon and as you kind of reach out to the weave, you can feel it even in this place, and it is inherently dark magic. And as you pull and begin to tear at it, the doom that happens is that it takes notice of you. You realize that whatever attention has been the focus of the house has been focused elsewhere, but close by. And yet at the same time, it notices you, and you reflexively reel as you snip what last bit of shadow you pull. Something, you have made a dent somewhere, you don't know how, but you have. But this is still where the shadows are the darkest, at least right now and right here. And you hear the sound of footsteps from outside of the secret chapel, even though there is not a door on any adjoining wall.
So not from the way we came, not from like the crawl space.
Not from the crawl space. It's almost like it's echoing through, as if it were through a door or that was slightly ajar, but there's no door on any of the walls. This is enclosed.
Can we all hear that or just Maurice?
Oh, all of you hear it.
Oh boy.
I don't know where or how, but I think I diminished that spell. The footsteps might be my fault.
Or they were always there, but now we can actually hear them. Are they even real? I mean, there's so much that this house has been doing that makes no sense.
Can we tell which direction the footsteps are coming from? Like, does it seem like they're coming from a specific wall?
Absolutely. There is the wall that kind of faces opposite of the altar, where it would normally be an entry point. It's just a blank stone wall.
It looked like just a regular old stone wall, Zach.
Yeah,
I can fix that.
you can certainly try.
I mean, so here's a question. Would you call a wall a target?
I would certainly. What is your intention?
I have this beautiful, hot, hard, forged from blood sledgehammer.
Is that what you call it?
Oh
Oh.
my god.
Mm.
I mean,
Invisible sun. After dark.
look, sometimes you just gotta make a sledgehammer from your own body and just smash with it, you know?
Ba-na-na-na-na.
So, Zach, what I'm saying is I want to smash.
You would like to smash the wall?
GM, can I smash?
You may certainly smash.
Cool.
Go ahead and roll.
What's my target number?
You roll and we'll see.
Well, fuck me, right? Okay. Or not.
I believe that's what the intention was, but go on.
But go off. Okay, cool. I have a skill level in breaking objects. I have a skill level in medium close weapons, and I have a bunch of shit that radically increases the amount of damage I do when I attack a target. And also I have a level 6 magical weapon that I'd like to bop with. So it sounds like I'm starting at a 6 minimum.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give you this for free, which is, and when I say I'm going to give this to you for free, I'm going to give you a despair.
Sorry. Rude.
As what ends up happening is you bring the sledge to bear, as if to try to cut the sound of the footsteps off at the knees, and the stone gives under the weight and heft and momentum of the sledge, and a lurid light begins pouring in through the wall as you realize you have opened an aperture into the kaleidoscopic void, as though the room itself is suspended in a sea of nothing and nihilism. And it begins to exert a pressure. Go on.
I'm getting flashes of that time in the war report where
Yeah.
Bot accidentally was like, let me just end the world real quick.
Yeah.
Learn how to do some real fancy footwork to be like, no.
I will say this. You realize that as that piece of wall crumbles, and I will say that the whole starts as a silver dollar, and then it begins to slowly but surely expand. So I want to say this is a very destructive act. I want to take... Did any of you guys have any other business in this room before what happens next happens next?
I did not.
Nothing that we can do.
Ironically, I was looking for like where the next place we might need to go because I wasn't clear on the description if this was sort of a dead end or if there was another path leading further from where we came.
As if as if to answer your question, your soldier's training kicks in and you immediately look for the exits. The only exit is from where you entered, which is that
that's what I
narrow
thought.
kind of duct work passage. Before you act on this information, Kiri, what goes through your mind in the lead up to this moment and then after this moment transpires?
Yeah, I think she was very much like fixated on this note that was kind of on the altar with the beheaded crow. This sort of notion of mother of senseless things. I think she's sort of been thinking, like, as this is all transpired, like trying to like consult her knowledge of the lore and canon as to like, has she heard that term before? Does that make any sense? I mean, she knows it's related to the Vespertine and nihilism, but I think she's like trying to sort of do a deep dive as to whether or not that like name means anything to her.
Oh, absolutely. So Mother of Senseless Things, you realize this is kind of like a paean to, or a paean to nihilism, to perhaps that there is an entity in this, but it might as well be a prayer to the void. I think, at least from your limited context in this moment. You would probably have to try to do some more digging or find some other reference, but in this moment, this is what you believe to be the case. You think that this is just a appeal to existential dread and inviting it into the world.
Got you. So it's like a personification as far as she's concerned of
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
nihilistic. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
the goddess of nothing, in effect.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then that is when suddenly a hole begins opening in the wall, and the size of the hole begins doubling. And you all feel a gravitonic, a kind of Jovian pressure begin to suffuse the room. What do all of you do?
This feels like our exit. Gav is gonna make her way back to that crawl space.
Yeah, absolutely. All of you, I take, are you following suit? Are you diving into this crawl space? What does this look like?
I think Okris is going last. They're just kind of staring at for a moment at this, and just kind of like going.
I almost feel like Gav might double back to like bodily pick you up, Okris, and try to
Can I pitch something?
you.
Because if Maurice was kind of towards the center here, I think we can make a daisy chain. I think I'm
Oh, I like that.
maybe reaching for calling for Okris's hand and getting a sledgehammer instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, and kind of Gav dragging us back into the crawl space.
I will say, as you begin to pull, I think in this point, I need you to make a resist roll, Okris, as you stare into the scintillating kaleidoscope and begin seeing impossible colors, and all of it recalls you of a moment of your impending unstoppable demise that was reversed by Kieran von Mielis. It is basically like deja vu if you were remembering a death you had. You are muted.
Well, fuck me then. What's my target number?
I'm going to say for this, I'm going to put it at a 7.
Okay. I have a +2 to resist, one from my innate skills and one from my Roach Goblin of Mind Shielding, which is a tiny little mechanical fucker that helps with resistance.
You just see it almost like this clockwork creature. Its kind of wings and kind of carapace seems to open up as if to protect. You have that.
Sweet baby angel. I love him so much. Okay. And my target is 7?
Yes. 7 total.
I think I'm going to put a sortilege into this.
Okay.
So am I rolling 2 house dice as well?
You are.
That's homophobic. Okay. Get fucked. That's an 8 on one of my regular dice. So a total of 10.
Okay.
Fuck you. That is a 2 on my other dice, but both of the house dice are lower than the 8. So what?
So nothing happens.
I feel like I ask this every session.
So the house,
yes.
the house does not act.
Cool.
You manage to kind of beat the house. So in this case, you snap out of this kind of semi-reverie, imagine like when you think of it, think of like in the novel It, when you look into the deadlights, that's what it's like. And you manage to shake out of this.
Solipsistic annihilation.
Yeah, pretty much. You manage to shake yourself out of it and begin choking up on the sledgehammer, getting closer to Maurice before being pulled into the crawl space, and all of you manage to push forward. You hear almost the sound of cracking, breaking, and then a pop, and the opening where you had entered the crawl space no longer exists.
I was kind of looking forward to the void destroying the house. Oh well.
And now you are in this dark crawl space. But there's a small hint of a light somewhere further down. Not from where you came in the bedroom, but some distance away.
Oh, it's like a network. It's not just a 1-to-1.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
a
we went off
That's right.
a turn. Yeah.
Exactly.
Who's in front?
I believe
I
that
think you are.
I believe that would be you.
Uh-oh. I'm gonna go towards this new light source.
Okay. In point of fact, you begin moving forward once again. Are all of you following suit? Are any of you kind of doing anything special in this moment? So, you manage to crawl, Gabrielle, and once again, that house is beginning to exert pressure and beginning to almost constrict the crawl space. And as you realize that it is beginning to close in on your slight form, you manage to find a grated covering, and you look through, and you manage to see some sort of warm amber light, kind of forming a slatted box of light in the tunnel.
So,
It's a vent.
It's a vent.
Yeah.
If you would like, you can take whatever precaution, do whatever you need to, or just burst through.
oh, I'm gonna kick the vent open.
Oh, amazing. Okay. You kick open the vent. Maurice, could you describe your kitchen for me?
What the fuck?
Yeah. Pretty narrow. What you might expect to find in a war era building on the Upper West Side. Mm-hmm. It has the linoleum floor that has like a fake pattern in it. It's got kind of a yellow tiles on the backsplash, like little curly cues of flower designs going up from it. Real cheap ass cupboards. A fridge that you are shocked to learn still works. And yeah, clutter everywhere. Old newspapers, books, doodads, tchotchkes, your hoarder grandmother's kitchen.
Amazing. And yeah, I think Gabrielle, you were bracing yourself for the worst. You've been here. You know what Maurice's kitchen looks like. And this is it.
I am immediately suspicious.
We all exit out behind her and see the same thing.
I have to assume.
One has to assume.
Why would anyone assume anything different?
Maurice instinctively like walks and starts checking cupboards.
Absolutely.
Are things there behind the cupboards that he would expect to find?
Yeah.
Dishes.
Dishes.
Is there tea?
There is tea. There's everything you remember from before it seemed to have been removed from your home.
Chomped. Right.
Yeah.
Maurice smells the tea. Smells fine.
You're not seriously thinking of making anything in here.
Honestly, what could go wrong? And he puts
So
on the
many
hot water
things.
heater.
You will notice, I think, as this kind of light flicks on Maurice, the shadows in this room seem darker than they used to be. Only just, but you notice it. Something is different about the room.
What about if we wanted to keep going beyond this room? Where would that lead?
So that's an interesting question. Where would the doors entering into the kitchen normally lead for you?
I would say because I'm picturing some railroad apartment style. There's one we came in on one end and it would go out the other.
Yeah. So there are two doors, one of which I think would normally lead to kind of like your semi-living room, kind of like that interseating room in a railroad before it gets to like the master bedroom. And then there would be normally the entryway into the apartment. I'm assuming that the kitchen's kind of like one big room with the entry to the apartment.
Sure.
Yeah, and essentially they are there, these rooms, or the doors to these rooms, but the doors are in different places, only slightly in different locations. But nevertheless, they are differently located, and not only that, but they seem to have been seamlessly shifted so that seems like where they would naturally be. So whatever has changed the kitchen has done so seamlessly.
Honestly, I kind of like this better.
And
What is this place?
This is my home. This is my kitchen.
It's a mockery of your kitchen.
Yeah. No, I get it. We're in the darkest house. But it's what was... You remember. Half of it was missing.
Of course I remember, but...
This is the half that was missing.
No, and I'll point out a section that was chopped off. This whole part was gone. But wait a minute. What's this? And I put my hand into the tea tin.
you notice that there is a well-worn envelope inside of which a letter.
Oh.
There's blood on this. It says Maurice, but he crossed out Your Highness. I don't know how, but I'm in your kitchen and there's no sign of you or Duncan. I don't even see that guard dog you named after me. If you're reading this, then I have to assume you, Kirill, Okris, and Gabrielle, please not Gav, trapped yourself in this house like we did. The lieutenant and I managed to find the seed of truth, but some sort of... Here, the word shapeshifter is written but crossed out. Some sort of reflection of hers stole it from us and then attacked. We got separated in the hallway with the voices. Even if we find the seed, I'm not sure how we're going to get out. The house is hunting us. It hates us more than we ever hated the Vespertine. I saw a glimpse of it in the chapel under... parentheses Allegra's bedroom, and I think the lieutenant wants to fucking bind it. Fucking is emphasized. I know there are ways to leave, but only the house knows for sure. This is crossed out. We will all belong to the house one day. Fuck. You can't punch a hole through it to force your way out, but the house is a series of locks. There have to be keys. Look for them. And Maurice points the paper at you and says, I can't read this signature.
Can any of us?
No.
Can't read it either.
It is scratched through and illegible.
It's the same person, isn't it?
Grace, it's addressed to you. Well, Your Highness, you.
The lieutenant and I.
It has to be the same person that wrote me the letter. How come we
The
don't
dog.
know who they are?
The dog that I named after.
I only remember Duncan.
And you realize, Maurice, that he is referring to the dog that just appeared in your house.
Duncan Prime. No? There was Legend, there was Duncan, and there was the guard dog, Duncan Prime.
Oh my God! Is
Optimus
it fucking
Prime?
Duncan?
Oh God! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, I made him. Oh no! We made him
Wait.
sapient.
Oh no! The lieutenant and I.
Oh my God. Okay. Fuck. Sorry. Hopper's losing their mind.
Wait, but if it's not the same person that wrote me the letter, because I had flashes of somebody, like a human person.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Zach.
Mm-hmm.
What did the person that wrote Okris a letter refer to themselves as?
They didn't refer to themselves.
You're muted. Fuck you.
They didn't refer to themselves. Can you hear me?
No, I can now. Yeah.
Okay.
But they referenced the lieutenant as well,
Mm-hmm.
and the signature was scratched out.
Mm-hmm.
And they referenced the last gasp.
Mm-hmm.
I think Okris is gonna finally pull the letter out of their pocket and just do you have a kitchen table? I missed that bit. I know it's a railroad
Oh
setup.
yeah, it's real nice. It's real cozy. Here, let me get all this shit off of it.
Okris just like sweeps some shit off the table onto the floor.
Yeah, that's fine.
And slaps this letter down. I think it's all written by the same person.
As you say that, Maurice, you realize that the handwriting is the same. Gabrielle, you realize even the letter shapes in Yiddish are the same.
Yeah.
As if done by the same hand.
How come we all don't know who this person is?
It's somebody from the last gasp. Which means that it's from my past, but also each of yours.
Exactly. This letter references the Pinion Brotherhood as well.
I don't have a letter though, so maybe not.
Who's
mine.
the reflection? Is this talking about Allegra? Who's the lieutenant?
Is the Lieutenant Allegra?
Here, remember the apparitions of her? She was here once, investigating something, looking for something.
The lieutenant and I managed to find the seed of truth, but some sort of shapeshifter crossed out, reflection of her, stole it from us, then attacked.
You can't help but draw the association of the incarnation of Allegra that pursued you before the curse was removed from it. That version of her that seemed childlike and yet to have a broken porcelain-like skull from which was leaking blue butterflies.
And I think Kiri holds up the sort of mirror shard that now contains or has transmuted what remains of that piece of Allegra. I think maybe they mean this.
That feels like a good possibility. How could this one person be a part of all of our...
I didn't name Duncan after anybody.
Was there another dog that you've been made to forget? Whoever they were, they said that they watched me grow up. I don't know who this person is.
And they don't like when you're called Gav. Do you not like being called Gav?
Well,
have I been fucking up this whole time?
There's been more at stake than nicknames. But how could we all... Did the house eat their memory?
I'm wondering if our sense of time is unmoored as well. What if something we did? What if how we affected this visage of Allegra? What if that echoed backwards?
What if this person, whoever they are, what if they're still here?
Exactly.
Maybe we've been thinking the house is this consciousness, this sort of single entity that has a will and an intention, and it hates us more than anything has ever hated us. But what if that's not the only thing in this house?
Then we find that other thing. Ding! The hot water heater goes off. Let's get out of here. And you said there were two options of doors.
Mm-hmm.
There was like into the common area, and then like another door towards the I'm gonna walk straight back and open a door. What do I see?
As you touch the door, you open it, and there is a kind of a darkness that seems to you kind of peer into, and your eyes adjust, and you begin hearing the soft cawing of ravens. And you see Kiri, Sophanox kind of bristles and begins almost trying to kind of make itself grow larger.
Oh boy. Something wicked this way comes?
Yeah, Maurice closes the door and says, "Okay, sound like birds. Let's try the other door."
Maurice, do you have Pop-Tarts in your kitchen?
I have no idea how old they'd be, and also we're in a different dimension, but let's find
Do
out.
you want to actually eat Darkest House
Oh
Pop-Tarts?
my god, it's the cinnamon without the frosting? Oh, I would never. Okay, no, this kitchen's all wrong.
I think like Kiri has like found a Pop-Tart, but because they were made in 1964, she doesn't know what it is, and so she's like cracked it and she's like,
Older
"You mean the
Pop-Tarts.
filling is on the inside? But what's on the... What do you do with this baked good?"
Hang on, I'm enamored with the idea that you've only heard of Pop-Tarts academically.
Yeah, she's only ever seen like a reference.
What is a biblically
to
accurate
literature-
Pop-Tart?
And
in literature about the gray.
I
What's
think
the canon of a
I think
Pop-Tart?
point of order, the thing Kiri would be most interested in about a Pop-Tart is the silver metallic wrapping.
Yes. she's like, but isn't
Holy
there's all
shit!
there's this technology about a microwave, right? But if I were to pop this,
Have
as
you
the
really
name
not used the
implies,
microwave? Even I've used the
into a
microwave since being in
microwave,
Subterrane.
it would scientifically light on fire because aluminum
Okay.
conducts.
Yeah, but it's a toaster pastry. Let's start with that.
Put it in
But-
the toaster.
Even if you put it in the toaster with its wrapping on, it would
Don't
also
do
light
that.
on fire, presumably, because also aluminum conducts.
Kiri,
Why?
you're the reason they have the instructions written on the box. Chris, you had something to say.
No, Hopper's losing their fucking mind over the fact that Pop-Tarts are from 1964. Like, I get it totally makes sense, right? But it doesn't feel like something that my mom could have eaten as a young teenager.
They were
Like-
apparently initially called fruit scones. Another piece of
Oh, that's so
Pop-Tart
much
lore.
worse. I'm purely fascinated.
Just call
with
me
the
a slur
idea.
instead.
Yeah, seriously.
Apparently, they are called Pop-Tarts because the pop art movement was a thing at the time. Also,
Oh, of course.
Not the toaster pop?
no, that's
so you're
just the
saying
benefit.
there's a tart that knows how to pop?
Again,
Pop-Art.
just call me a slur.
It's an avant-garde breakfast food.
You know what? Now that I think about it, the shiny wrapping makes more sense for the space age because that's all like, you know.
We're blowing this thing wide
Wow.
open.
Incredible. Okay, I closed the Raven door. I want to try a different door.
As you close the door, you do see the silhouette of a human figure, kind of just outlined somewhere in the darkness.
Okay, wait. Hello?
Open the door again.
Yeah, who are you?
Hello?
Oh, are you one of the people from out here? Come in my kitchen. Right, guys? Come on.
Are you
Come into the
I
light.
think Gab's just like,
Are you inviting this person?
Yeah.
uh-oh.
Please cross this threshold, sir.
A raven vampire approaches.
You hear the fluttering of wings as this form seems to move in the darkness, and you see a kind of this outline move kind of unnaturally, and leaving behind it the sound of cause. As it moves, you realize you make out the shape of a number of apertures in the wall behind it, and you realize that they are cages for what look to be animals, straw lined. And you realize that whatever this thing is, it has come from a rookery. And as it crosses the threshold, you see bedecked almost in a cloak of feathers, a top-hatted figure whose face is shaded by this top hat. It almost as though it seems to kind of stick to the shadows of the kitchen in this moment. And you just hear kind of like a low caw. And I am curious, as this figure kind of recedes comfortably in the dark, you really can't make out much detail. What do you say or do?
Maurice asks Kiri if he can have the Pop-Tart.
And Kiri nods, hands it
And-
over.
Yeah, he takes out and breaks off a little chunk and puts his hand into the shadow, offering it to the creature. Sorry, it doesn't have frosting.
Got him. That was the answer. Solved it.
Got it.
Pop-Tarts.
Make me an interaction roll.
It makes me so
yeah.
happy that I'm not the only one that makes Zach make that face. Like, I know who I am,
All right,
but it
can
is
I-
nice to
Can
feel
I add my skill to understanding people's motives?
Oh,
for this
absolutely.
roll? Okay.
Please do.
And then I am gonna pump a sortilege into this. So I'm adding 3 to the dice that I roll. I have a magic die and 2 house dice. Okay. I have a house die with a higher result. So that's 1 doom.
No, it's not one doom.
Oh.
It's only when you call upon the house die to augment your roll.
Okay.
Or you roll multiple house die that they're all higher. In this case, the house acts.
Okay.
And in this moment, you see the figure for what it is, which is, it is a murder of crows in the shape of a man. And you realize not only that, but as that face, before it dissolves into a flutter of wings, has the overall silhouette and shape of Marlowe Anvers's face. And you recall in your mind a phrase that you have heard in many a sooth deck foretelling, which is that the raven wants what you have.
Which is a Pop-Tart in this case.
Not.
Do you want my roll results?
Yes, I would.
And am I using the number I got on the house die? Since it's the highest?
Only if you want to take a doom.
Oh, I see. Well, if I wanted to take a doom, wouldn't I be adding it to?
Yes, you would be adding it.
Gotcha.
It's
so
basically
ignore the values on the house die for now.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. And I got a 10.
Okay. I will say that with a 10, it doesn't immediately peck at your hand, but you feel almost the wings kind of brush it aside. We are not interested. We want what you take for granted. We want the dreams.
Which dreams?
The dreams. And as it says this, it flutters, as if almost like a shudder runs up the murder of crows. And I have an image for all of you that I will send, if you will bear with me. Okay, 1 second. So this kind of shudder runs up its form, and it watches you as you consider what it is asking. What is going through all of your mind? What, if anything, do you do in this moment?
I haven't quite pulled my rifle from its holster, but getting a little itchy.
We want
maybe
the dreams.
That might be something that we can give you. We're looking for keys. I've heard that there are locks in this house.
Keys? Keys? You might find a key. What do you have to offer?
I have made many a dream in my day. What is it that you want?
A dream of hope.
Sure.
Hope.
Hope for you?
Hope. And it, again, a shudder. And you just see a couple of these crows fly off and then fly back and reform the silhouette.
Can I write something for this dude?
You may certainly, absolutely. What do you intend to write?
I'm going to cast a spell. I have a spell called... Hold, please. I have a spell called Poetic Magic. Oh, the process takes a minimum of 17, not necessarily consecutive hours. Wow, Monty.
Wow.
All right. I don't do that. I think I'll still so if I'm in my kitchen, I can find a pen and paper. And I'm gonna write a little haiku.
Okay.
for our Raven Man.
Excellent.
Are you gonna make me come up with a haiku on the spot?
I will give you a couple of minutes.
All
Otherwise,
right, cool.
Otherwise, you can describe the overall intention here.
No, give me a couple minutes. I can come up with a haiku.
Okay. And in that case, I think while you sit and write, I think that all of you have seen Marlowe's form through the mirror. Gav, you have seen his true form, basically kind of held together by webbing, where the spider prints touched him. However, Kiri, you are the person that has seen him the most, like not only in the flesh, but closest in the mirror, and you've watched him studying you with interest. But there's one thing that you can tell, which is whatever this raven dream is, it does not recognize you. It does not pay you any heed. Its focus is laser-like on the paper that Maurice is writing on.
I think with that in mind, as Maurice writes, Curie will sort of look interestedly at this raven dream creature. Why do you wear that face?
Came from hope. Hope. And again, the cloak flutters and forms like its constituent ravens into a swarm, all cawing. And Sophanox, again, kind of at this point spreads its wings in kind of like an intimidating manner, and they reform.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at this murder of crows, what do I just see crows? Because I can see through allusions to a true form. Is it just a massive ravens to me with no distinctive features, or?
I think the thing is, it is a massive ravens, but it is also almost like it's almost kind of like a form, a silhouette of light is superimposed over this kind of mass, almost like imagine an outline and the crows kind of straying outside of it and then coming back and forming it loosely, and each where all of you are seeing just a sea, kind of like just this full form of black eyes staring back at you. You are seeing tiny points of light staring back. They seem to glow in the relative darkness of the darkest house.
Okay.
There is something about them that feels anathema to this place and an unsettling to you. But you don't know how long they've been here. You don't know whether or not it's the influence of the darkest house or if there is something that is naturally wrong about them.
But I get the sense that they're not from here, organically. They might be another victim of the house.
Perhaps.
Okay.
Marissa, you had asked why they had the face, and the answer was
It was it was sort of like a symbol of hope somehow, or like their answer was like hope once came in this form or guise.
Okay. Maurice blows on the ink, shakes the paper, and says, I made this for you. Sorry, it's so rushed.
You see all of them kind of degroup and kind of reform, sitting at the table, looking, just peering deeply at the page that you have put together. And you see these kind of feathered hands like frame it as if to try to better absorb the sight of it. What does it read?
Sorry to do this to you, Zach. I invite the creature to read it themselves. I think it's important that they...
Do you have the text for me?
Yeah, put in the Zoom chat for you.
You got it. All right. I woke from a dream. I thought it was beautiful. I took it with me. And it kind of almost bird-like cocks its head at you. And so, what does this haiku evoke to you?
To Maurice?
Mm-hmm.
Ownership of making your own life beautiful.
That sense. Before I do anything, are you doing anything else with this aside from kind of giving the intention of the haiku to the creature?
I want to spend some amount of resources to be the storytelling guy who like makes stories, right? I don't know how I'm gonna I don't think there's a specific thing in my forte, but I'm a writer, man.
Mm-hmm.
I write shit and make people feel things. So let me make them feel something. I think, in fact, that the fact that they had to say I, the fact that they had to say me, that's the magic I want to shove in this.
Okay.
Spend a sortilege, spend a sorcery, something.
Okay. So I am going to once again ask you to roll. This time it is going to be a magic roll. I would accept this as a weave if you would like to try to do something here. Your target number that you are trying to hit is an 8. As you feel a tug on your psyche, let that inform what you do with this weave.
All right. Well, if I spend 8 sorcery on this, then I do it.
You do
right?
the thing. Yeah, absolutely.
So, wow.
You realize as you feel that tug that you grasp it. And you realize that that sentiment, that dream that you had writ to paper, it was going to take from you. And it would have dulled the feeling of it. And instead, you sense its intent and you sharpen it. And Gav, where you see those points of light in the eyes, you see the light flare from all of them. And there is a shuddering caw, a confusion in this murder of crows. Take us with you.
Of course we can. Can you help us find the key?
And you see that form look about its person, and then almost like the way you've seen Kiri, Sophanox dig into its fur as if to pick out like a bit of dirt or detritus. You see it pick through, and one of these beaks produces from it a brass key that travels the length from beak to beak through its arm before the part of its form that makes up its arm before it forms the outline of a hand, and it hands it to you.
Thank you.
And then
Can I make you more...
all of them begin to break up and shudder, and then begin as if rifling through your waistcoat, your pocket, your jacket, and all of them seem to dive into pockets and disappear.
Ah!
Well, Maurice, I think you've made a new friend.
friends.
What is it about my fucking face?
You volunteered.
No, you guys are good. Huh? Huh? You're good.
In the corner of one of your waist coat pockets, you see a little beak emerge.
I feel like Kiri looks up at Sophanox. Does Sophanox seem jealous, or like does Sophanox need to establish that he was here first? He's the ruler of the roost.
It hops forward on your shoulder closer to Maurice. Sophanox kind of tilts his head as if to look where the Raven Dream disappeared to.
Maurice looks at Sophanox and says, "Any tips?" All right, good boy.
And then you just see as it shudders once you give it a scratch.
Oh.
The other door awaits.
Apparently ravens have an incredibly complex and rigorous social hierarchy, which I did not know.
They do.
Oh, yeah,
That's
they
why
do.
I asked. I was like, I'm pretty sure Sophanox might have feelings about this. Also, they love puzzles. Like, it's their favorite thing to solve a puzzle.
Maurice says, "Hey, look at this note I found. Tell me who wrote it." He shoves it in his pocket.
You do that? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely, I do.
Oh no.
Okay. Is your intent to send it through the house or for it to examine it?
Wait, what?
What?
Are you intending?
Sorry, are my pockets now a portal to other parts of the house?
No. I will say that your portal now contains a liminal state of ravens.
Yeah.
A liminal
And
murder of crows.
And I put the note that I got out of the tea tin, and I put it in my pockets with the liminal ravens. And I tell them, "Hey, do you know anything about this?"
Is your intention to send them off to find out more or to decipher it?
Oh, decipher, yeah.
Okay, absolutely. They will. One of those beaks reaches out, grabs the piece of paper, and secrets it back into the pocket. And you feel a rummaging, and then stillness, and your pockets lay flat.
Not entirely unpleasant, the rummaging.
Look, I'm already dealing with Hopper, okay?
What's the matter, Zach? You can't handle a little bit of rummaging? Also, because this has afflicted me, I do need to share this with everybody else, but my brain is just going, I got a pocket full of ravens. I got a pocket full of ravens. I can't sing, but you know what song it is? You're
I know what you're
welcome.
talking about. I got you.
Uh-huh.
I'm picturing Maurice doing the montage that Emma Stone does in Easy A, but
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm mostly just moving weird.
Fantastic. Absolutely. Yeah, now I think at this point, so much for my horror game.
Man, would you say
God.
you're like the cock of the walk right now?
Sorry, I just learned something crazy about ravens. Apparently, they do weird things with ants. Specifically, they lie in anthills and roll around so the ants swarm on them, or they chew the ants up and rub their guts on their feather.
called
oh,
Anting.
they like
It's
that
called
specific.
anting.
Apparently, that's called anting. It's a scientific thing.
Yeah.
Do they like that specific smell that ants give off when they
Yes.
get crushed?
Yes, I think so. It's like a perfume, and I guess it feels good to them.
It's a drug. And it
You know
also
what?
cleans their feathers. Guys, we've
Yeah.
had some fun here. Welcome down to Animal Facts while we're in the darkest house.
Excellent. I love it.
I mean, they're kind of just like stacked like dust baths. Like,
Is this what
anyways,
you
that's
wanted,
They're not chinchillas.
Oh.
a lot of creatures have dust baths.
That's fair. That's fair.
Not
Also-
just chinchillas.
They hold grudges, apparently,
I love
and
that.
also
Fucking
sure fucking do.
and
Crows
also
do,
the
too.
other and also they remember birds that they like, and they will respond in a friendly way to certain birds for at least 3 years after seeing them.
Oh,
They
wow.
remember people they don't like.
Yeah.
And people they do like. which is fucking cool. Ravens are so fucking cool.
So actually,
And crows.
When
just
a raven's friend loses in a fight, they will seem to console the losing bird.
okay.
That's great.
So here's the thing.
Zach's like, this is not Raven facts.
So here's the thing. No raven anecdote. My father-in-law befriended a raven, and she brought her child to meet him.
Yeah.
In Portland, Oregon. So
Love it.
yeah,
That is a very Portland, Oregon story.
I love ravens.
Yes, and
yes.
it's
And,
ravens.
and God rest that child's soul.
Yeah. So the other door awaits.
So is that like on the other side of the kitchen with like maybe Gabrielle or
I
Chris
can-
be closer to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, am I closer to that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna open it. What could be worse? More ravens? I don't know.
The door opens, and inside you see what would be for Kiri a welcome sight. A large oak-paneled office with built-in bookshelves on either side, and behind what would appear to be a large central teak desk.
Yeah, I think here there's like inherently a feeling of comfort in this space, much like Maurice may have felt in his kitchen. I think Curie also suddenly is like, desks, books.
So the interesting thing here is you have this office. It appears almost the way it would be for like a private office, like somebody's personal office, set aside as a room in this house. And not only that, but there is a stack of books on top of the desk, along with a number of pens and a magnifying glass. And there are a few books that have been kind of pulled out of their respective shelves and stacked back kind of haphazardly. It seems to be dusty and disused, but a relatively nice place for a respite.
Is this an office that Curie has seen before, or it just has hallmarks of like offices she has known and loved previously?
Give me an intellect roll.
Yeah, happy to do that. That is a 9.
Okay.
Defiantly beats the house die.
All right. On a 9, I will tell you that there is something about this place that you cannot shake, which is parts of it, not all of it, but parts of it remind you very much of your father's office, the office of Adrian von Hollingsworth.
Yeah, I think with that realization, Curie, I think she starts like in a true sort of librarian-y way, like starts cataloging the inconsistencies. She's sort of like, oh, well, he wouldn't have hung that piece of art because he never really liked, early interstitial war period nautical scenes. Like I think she would start finding the continuity errors that the house has sort of created, but also recognizing like the pieces that are distinctively sort of drawn from at least what she remembers of her father's office, having been relatively small when she would enter there and having seen it at a very sort of younger point of view.
Sure. Absolutely. Where do you start?
I think the desk feels like a pretty good like point of focus, I guess. So I think she would inherently be drawn to the desk. I think in part too because when she was a child, like that's where she was never allowed to be, or like she could approach her father at his desk, but like she would never be able to be allowed to go through his drawers or like sit at his desk or anything like that.
In that case, so a couple of things that you notice. There is a stack of books that you examine. And point of fact, you've made your intellect roll. Would you tell me how you're kind of examining everything?
Yeah, I mean, I think she is sort of creating like a taxonomy, sort of, right? And almost in her brain of like, oh, okay, like it makes sense that this book would be on his desk, or like this is one I actually remember him owning or having, and then like other bits would be kind of like strange, like a quill. I don't think he writes with a quill. I've never seen him. He was a fountain pen guy, like that kind of thing. But also like noticing the details about sort of things, maybe that like she can't actually even tell if there's a fidelity to fact because it's like the memory is fuzzy because it's old, right? Like she didn't pay attention to what the titles of certain essays he might have been working on were, but she would, because she always loved books, pay attention to that. So it's kind of like, okay, I don't know if that is real or not because I don't really remember what the reality would be.
Yeah, absolutely. And you notice on a stack of books, one of these books has an interesting title and what looks to be a kind of scrap bookmark sticking out of it. The title of the book is The Eyes of the Child.
Oh. Interesting. She pulls it out. And yeah, it looks to be this envelope.
Not only that, you find tucked behind the envelope a piece of canvas and a stormy blue eye staring back at you. And you realize it is the second of the painted eyes, the first of which you found in the living room when you started your foray into the darkest house. They now match as a set, one left and one right.
I think Kiri again sort of looks into the eye of her sister and feels this sort of strange pull, like a sort of pull between a reality she remembers and a reality she has lived. And I think at the same time she also kind of feels watched. Like she sees the eyes of her sister, and one of her instant reactions is like, Allegra can see me, I'm being perceived, in effect, even though it's just this painted eye. But I think breaking from that, she pulls the note from the envelope and begins to read it.
As you begin to read, a shimmer appears in the air of an indistinct form.
It reads, Kiriel, if you're reading this, then it means that Allegra never contacted you after we parted ways with your group and Kieran in Satarine. That means that we failed to find the seed and failed to leave the house. We can no longer help you. For that, I am truly sorry. Please be cautious if you manage to find Allegra. This place has changed her. She is no longer the woman that I admired and for whom I joined the Cataract. She's desperate here. She's not merely trying to find the seed, she's trying to bind the house to her will. I found the ritual remains of someone who attempted the same in another room of the house. I don't think it went well for them. She's out of her depth, and the house is feeding on her. Crossed out. It started small with Allegra. I caught her talking to herself about strategies and formula as we checked the rooms. Soon she stopped responding to my words and barely seemed to notice the horrors of this place. Worse, the house stopped noticing her. In one of the hallways, she took off running, calling out for her father as she vanished into another room. There was no one there. Crossed out. She took the seed of truth with her. It's been days now, and I cannot find any trace of her. That's a lie. I find traces of her everywhere. Scraps of garments, the scent of her spell ingredients, snatches of whispers I can only hear in the darkness. She's in every room, and yet she is nowhere. The house is playing with its food. Crossed out. All I have now are my memories, and I suspect the house will want those next. I have encountered several denizens here, souls that have been absorbed and recreated by the house, and others that have come here seeking things that only the house can provide. The host told me about a cell where something powerful is kept. He also mentioned that the curator and the gatekeeper could help me find a way out. But I can't leave her behind. I think she's gone to the cell. If I'm still alive by the time you read this, that's where you'll find me. Be careful. All our hopes rest on you now. And the signature is likewise scratched out before I can read it all, but the first letter is V.
As you watch the signature, you almost try to catch the whole signature, but before you can read beyond the first letter, it scratches out as if by an unseen hand.
This is what we're looking for, right, Allegra? Lieutenant, there you are. Wait, what happened to your...
You see that same kind of shimmer in the air as this figure seems to struggle with an unseen force. Whatever this form is, it is roughly the shape of an average-sized man who appears to be struggling with something. And that's when you hear, "What are you doing in my study?" And in the hall, in the entryway, opposite where you came from, through another door, you see a very familiar form. Kiri, it's Adrian, looking disappointed and haughtily at you. His form impassive, but at the same time, derisive. However, the rest of you, Gabrielle, you see something different. In point of fact, you see a terrifying figure with jaw distended as if in a perpetual yell. Broad-shouldered, muscled, wielding what looks like a belt wrapped over one fist, screaming. And it's here that we're going to take our 10-minute break. So we are going to launch back into this imminent dread. So all of you witness this terrifying form looming through the door, all except you, Kiri, who can only see the no less to you imposing figure of Adrian von Hollingsworth, who looks at you haughtily, derisively, and with no warm sentiment anywhere to be found in that cold heart. What do all of you do in this moment?
I'd pull my gun.
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding? I'm seeing what it actually looks like.
Yeah.
So anyways, I started
blasting.
It begins moving forward inexorably towards Kiri. And it is howling at all of you. Saying,
I fire.
What are you doing in my study? I told you to stay out. Go ahead and give me your...
Yeah, if that's walking towards Kiri, no thank you.
Yeah.
We shan't be doing that.
Absolutely.
That will be a sortilege, so I can get some magical shit going on here.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to do the damage just yet. I have to roll to see if I even hit.
Your target is 10 twice, so you try to roll a total of 10 for both dice.
Oof,
and
okay. Luckily we do have the sortilege.
Mm-hmm. And do not forget to roll your house dice.
Oh yeah, I will. That's going to be a 10 for one of the dice, not the other.
Okay. So, what about your house dice?
I gotta do house dice.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, house dice is a 10, bang on, because it was a 9 plus the... Actually, it's 11.
Okay.
I can do math just fine. Oh, and a 10.
And a 10?
So 11 and a 10 on the house dice.
Mhm.
So one of the dice was higher than the other one.
But not both.
Not both.
Okay. So what I will say is if you would like to invoke a doom, you can succeed at shooting this creature.
Yeah, fuck it, we ball.
Okay. What does it look like as the rifle impacts this form?
I want to get it right through the gaping mouth.
Yeah. Oh,
So it's
absolutely.
just, thank you, Copper.
Yeah. Mouth. Yeah.
I mean, it's such a good target. It's right there.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna.
Look, it's wide open. It's right there. How can
wide
you
open.
not?
Yeah.
Just wide open.
There's so many more cursed things I could say right now, Hopper, but I'm not. I'm restraining myself.
Hey, it's free real estate.
It's free real estate. Mouth. For those watching us at home, this figure is basically a vested, kind of formally dressed figure that is broad and muscular, building towards these massive shoulders, and shrouded in darkness with 2 pinpoints of light where eyes should be, kind of staring through all of you. Its mouth is distended to something about this length. For any of you that needs an image, and it is yelling whilst holding a nasty blood-stained leather belt, the blood covering the buckle which hangs loosely and menacingly. You fire into this the darkness of this thing's maw. How much damage do you do?
What a great question. Let me do math, my strong suit. So there is sortilege, so we've got the 4+ base damage, and then we have the extra 3 damage. That's 7. There's more. 8 weapon whisper. And I should have. Where is it? Telestic strike. So 10 damage. Is that enough? Is that good?
That's plenty, but it doesn't seem to slow him down.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
In point of fact, you just see this figure look at you. Its jaw now hanging loosely from where you snapped off a piece of it. And looks at you and says, "How dare you? You're not allowed in here." However, that is what the 3 of you see. Kiri, what in this moment does Adrian say as it continues moving, as this figure continues moving towards you?
Yeah, one thing I just want to clarify in terms of how has Kiri processed what just happened. Did Kiri just see Gav shoot her father? Is that what happened?
Yes.
Okay, so
You
or is Kiri just seeing this mirage of Adrian and it's disconnected from what's happening with the other 3?
I think it might be disconnected. I think that you do see Gavriel fire into the figure, but almost that impassive look on his face does not change at all, as if the bullet passed through him. Now, you know for a fact, Gavriel, that you have damaged this thing. Kiri, you just see no reaction from Adrian in as pertains to the attack. What do you see him do after?
I mean, I think Kiri was sort of watching that in horror. I mean, I think she was sort of like, Dad? And then, I mean, to like even just sort of see Gav fire upon this figure, I think she had this moment. Like, I mean, when she realized, it didn't affect him, it was fine. But impact, not intent. I think Kiri like was somewhat like thrown off by that, or it's like someone has just shot at a member of my family, and so she files that away to process later, and then refocuses on Adrian, who I think she perceives as continuing to come towards her, like waiting for an explanation as to why she's here.
What are you doing in my study? These books, these treatises are beyond you. You shouldn't be in here. You couldn't possibly hope to understand them.
Father, I was just trying to learn. These things are within my reach, and certainly some may be a little advanced for my level, but...
I will beat all of you within an inch of your lives! As he stalks forward, the rest of you see this. But Kiri, continue.
Yeah, I think... But you are one of the most been renowned and formally recognized diplomats to the Blue Sun, and if you want me to ever follow in your footsteps, I must learn what you've learned. I must know what you know, and how am I going to do that if you won't let me in here to read the books that you've read and to figure out what it is that you know? How am I supposed to be good at what I do?
You have no hope of following in my footsteps ever. I think you must distinguish yourself in some other manner. The fact that you would think to even come close to the level of scholarship required to become any kind of contributor, and even settling for some second-rate institution like the Vancian Order. I thought I would have raised you better. All of you just look, and you suddenly hear, I thought I raised you better. And I think Gavriel, almost reflexively as he stalks past you, he's going to flick out with that belt. So go ahead, and you are going to have to roll a 10 to dodge out of the way of this.
So it's a dodge roll, not a resistance roll.
It is a dodge roll.
It's never resistance. Can I, would it be physicality or movement, Bene, that I could bonk into this?
Movement.
Movement it is. Right. No.
You
House dice. Oh, thank God, the house dice is 0 because I rolled a 2.
Yeah, you feel this thing sting back. You are going to take 3 points of mental harm or mental damage. And there is a reflex of give me a shameful memory that surges into Gavriel's mind. Unbidden.
You know what I think is a good one is when she was really young and learning how to use a gun, how the the kickback literally knocked her backwards.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you reflexively snap back, and but you've been taught by fighters basically how to kind of reel but kind of keep the movement back so that the impact is lessened. And so you are able to kind of recover. But as you look at this thing, it turns its attention, glancing at all of you before continuing forward. Its other arm, whilst holding the belt, is reaching out as if to grasp Kiri. I will, at this point, move the order in the round to whoever wants to go next.
I'd like to go next.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd like to make a weave. Using the quality of speech from wind, and I guess relationships from heart. I'm gonna say, Kiri, who are you talking to? And I'm gonna try and somehow dispel the fact that she's having a very measured conversation about reading books while we're going, monster.
Okay. In this case, how much sorcery are you spending?
Let's find out what we need. So effects by spell level. I'm not creating an illusion. That's level 3. I am.
You are dispelling it, or dispelling a
Yeah.
powerful magical effect.
Okay. Um. Hmm. I'm not seeing. Let's see. Perceive, no. Destroy, no. Move, no. Create visual illusions. I'm not creating an illusion. Um. And a lower level magical effect is 5. And all lower level effects is 7. Mm. Okay. What I want to do is I can make Kiri see what I'm seeing, regardless of breaking
Amazing.
whatever she's seeing.
I love that. That sounds great. Okay, what? How much does that cost, and how? What does it look like?
I think, regardless of what Maurice's intent of what it looks like, I think this is a game of telephone between one of the ravens in his pockets to Sophanox to Kiri.
Oh, absolutely. I think at this point you see a raven jump out and begin flying around the father, who reflexively tries to lash out. The bird, however, is too quick and dives straight for Kiri. You have this split-second moment where this thing, this bird, is diving towards you, this constituent of the Raven Dream, and basically lands on your shoulder before saying something to Sophanox, and you feel Sophanox's beak in your ear, gently almost whispering something, almost like a counter charm, as if to speak to you of the truth of what he is seeing. And you hear, and I think at that moment, knowing the truth of the words, you understand not only what the house has created and why it has done this thing. The thing that you see no longer resembles your father. It now resembles that horrifying Hulk bearing down towards you. However, the thing that you realize about this house and why it has done this, why it came to you in the form of Adrian von Hollingsworth, is that it hates you, yes, but it is feeding on something about you. And you realize it is feeding on a lie. It's the first instinct that kind of comes to mind before you have this moment to act. What do you do?
I think, yeah, like Kiri is very sort of stunned out of, or like shocked out of this like scene that she was in. I mean, she's going from, in effect, believing she's having the first conversation that she's had with her father since coming back to the actuality, and almost like reverting to a younger version of herself who has to sort of justify like being where she is and doing what she's doing, to seeing a full monster that is decidedly not her father. And now I think it like completely code switches in her brain. Okay, like I understand now why Gav shot this thing. Instead of Gav murdering my father in front of me.
I wouldn't murder your father unless I had a really good reason for it.
I would.
Kiri doesn't know. Anyway. I wouldn't put it past any of them. But no, she I think, like, now seeing the truth of the situation for what it is, I think also sort of clocks, thanks to Maurice's intervention, like the power of the narrative here that the house is kind of trying to use against her to sort of keep her in its thrall, but that at the same time that she gets the sense that the house is feeding on a lie that she can't exactly pinpoint what it is about her or what lie it is feeding on, she realizes the power of the truth to kind of counteract what the house is throwing at her. So I think even now, though, that she can see the monster for what it is, she decides to kind of keep up the scene with it, but goes from sort of a reaction of like reverting to that kind of childhood version of herself to instead being like more defiant and like, so what if I'm here?
This place isn't for you. It's for no one but me. No one else is allowed in here. You're not allowed to touch my things. And once again, I think he reaches forward with a grasping hand.
And I think, unless someone else wants to act, Kiri will use her Baroth's Binding Grasp spell to stop Adrian in his tracks. So this is level 5 plus 1 die. A creature within short range is blinded and held in place until the spell depletes. It may still attack, just not change locations. 0 to 3 depletion. Check each round. Color is gray.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me that sweet spell.
Yup.
You are going to
7.
Yeah, you are going to have to hit 10 twice. So
Okay.
All right.
Well, that was 7 on the die. The first time, and then I didn't add any bonuses to that though. And then that's a 9 on the die the second time.
Now roll me 2 house dice.
All right. 6 and a 2.
Okay. So in that case, and the level of Binding Grasp is what, 4?
5.
5. Okay. So in this point, he is frozen, and those pinpoints of light in the darkness flare with a just kind of like unseeing fury. As the hand, whilst he's frozen in his tracks, begins reaching and swiping at you blindly, and trying to grab a hold of you just inches in front of you. All of you guys, I will say, are in close with this thing now, unless you want to be further.
What's his other hand doing?
His other hand is like just kind of whipping with the belt around him, as if to catch one of you with a stray strike. Okris, you're up.
Can I? Okay. I'm gonna torch the rest of my. Let's find out what. I'm gonna torch the rest of my physicality to cast a Forte ability, Impermanence of Objects. Targeting, so the Forte ability is the works of neither gods nor vislae can withstand the strength of my conviction. Mm-hmm. I may choose one of the following, and I am choosing the second option. I choose a kindled item, object of power, or ephemera that is being held by one entity that I can see up to a close distance and use the force of my will to disintegrate it. Mm-hmm. I in turn gain a random ephemera item, GM's choice, of a level no greater than the level of this ability halved, rounded down.
Okay. So, I have with me a list of cards, or a bunch of cards that I can pull from. Go ahead and spend and tell me the level of the ability.
What is my target? It's level 6 plus 1 dice.
Yes, you are level 6 plus 1 die. You are trying to hit a 10 twice.
10 twice. So there's a Forte ability. You know what? Fuck it. Let's live Moss. Mm-hmm. I'll toss a couple sorcery in there too to using elevated. What is it? Elevated ability? Is that? Am I crazy?
Yeah, no, that is. I believe that's.
Whatever. I have divine ability.
There you go.
I could just crank it as high. I can crank it as much as I want.
Excellent. So in that case, when you crank it, God damn it. So when you increase the level of the spell, it will succeed automatically.
I'm only spending 2, so I still need to. roll?
You still need to hit. You still need to.
I need to hit 2 2s.
You need to hit 2 2s. You need to crank it twice.
I need to crank it twice.
All right.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me. Well, great news. That was incredible rolls for that I did not need. That's a 9 and a 7, and the house dice are 0 and 3 respectively.
Amazing. So you are going to gain an ephemera as the belt disintegrates in his hand. Let the pale moon sink to rest. It is a level 5 ability, and its color is gold. I will send you the description for it later.
Thank you.
You got it. So you watch as this belt disintegrates into kind of like almost like moon dust. And with this disintegration, he is still grasping forward, still struggling against the spell. I think at this point, however, Gabrielle, you are up.
Okay. I forgot I was Eye of a Manist, so a Velociraptor is firing a rifle, which is not the strangest thing happening in this scene by long shot.
Not even close.
I love that, so I'm going to fire again now, but now the audience knows it's the Velociraptor that's doing it. And that was important to me, Zach.
It's a raptor with a gun! Fuck!
That was really important to me, that it's like my Arafast form doing
Would you say you're a religious leader?
Like a what?
Like would you have a flock, and like I know sometimes people are refer to their flock like I think priests and pastors. So
Like a Velocipriest?
Are you
Like
a
a Velocipaster?
Are you a Velocipaster?
Are you a Velocipaster with a gun?
Not really.
God damn it.
I'm closer to like a Velocic rabbi.
Velocicaster. Hey.
Zach, I do want to remind you that I can be worse.
Oh, how? Honestly, how?
Oh, minion, and I gotta find out if a Velociraptor can be Jewish.
BRB.
Was the Velociraptor's mother Jewish?
Just a little.
You do not understand. If I come in with this as a legitimate question, people will talk about it with me.
Just
Anything for engagement.
I love my culture.
Just a little yarmulke.
Listen, Bill,
right
we're
on
not
the
doing
top
it for
of
the
Crest of
engagement. We're
Feathers.
doing it for the love of the game.
I don't think you can circumcise a lizard. So like,
Wow,
is that a
nice,
problem?
nice.
If you would tell me, Gabrielle, what you are doing in this moment. We've broken Marcy.
Recovering from. Oh, you are muted.
No, Zoom is just, she's not
Nope.
muted. Zoom is just like, no, that's incoherent.
Witness the terror of the
I've
darkest
filtered
house.
it out.
As far as I got, do I need to put sort of legit so I have 2 shots?
Okay.
Please don't make me think about Velociraptor circumcision ever again.
Man.
Honestly, incredible punk band name.
I know. That's really good.
It has to be a trans punk band, doesn't it?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
We know so many people we can pitch this to. I'm shooting. I'm rolling my dice, Zach.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure from a scientific perspective it's possible.
Amazing. Okay. All right. How'd you do?
Those are 2 11s.
Okay. All right. 2 11s. Roll your house dice as well.
I'm broken. 1 is exactly an 11, that's another 9.
Okay.
And that's a 7 for a 9, so no, nothing's over it.
Okay. Excellent.
Holy
you fire again.
Another 10 damage.
For another 10 damage. You see this form distorting and beginning to disapparate and break apart. However, in this moment, it shakes free of Baroth's binding grasp, and it is going to use its action to do that. At this point, Kiri or Maurice, I believe, whoever wants to take this next action, you can do so.
I will yield the floor to Kiri. I have basically I'm holding my action for some sort of defensive move. I'll say that.
Okay.
I mean, I think Kiri, she'll roll for depletion. That's a 6, so we're good. Spell is still active. He's still held in place and blinded.
So
Well, he just broke out of it.
he broke out of it by spending his action to do that.
Got you.
yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In which case, I think Kiri holds up one of the books on his desk.
Okay.
Tell me one thing in this book. Name a passage, a treatise, a chapter. Synthesize one of its ideas.
A howling incoherence meets you. Whatever this creature is, it is an emphasis. It is a memory colored and emphasizing cruelty. There is not a kind of an image. There is not an image of scholarship that has been here. There's not a notion of it that has been conserved or preserved. There is just a howling fury that is the epitome of a nightmare, of a haunting in which a family was haunted by its father. That is what meets you as you ask for this one thing.
I think then, she'll do two things. I think one, obviously convinced and very much kind of she will look at this creature she once sort of saw in the guise of Adrian von Hollingsworth and is now seeing for what he is. You're a charlatan and a fraud. And that's ironic given that you're the one that taught me to see the actuality as a chessboard. And I'm afraid that it's checkmate now for you. And she's going to use her Perfidious Assault spell, which is level 6 plus 1 die. I gather deceit, mistrust, and unease in my mind and launch it through the noosphere at a thinking being within long range. They suffer mental damage equal to the level of the spell.
Okay.
Color's blue.
Fire it off. How much are you spending?
I will spend, let's pump Bene into this. Do 1. Level 6. That's a 7. That's a 13.
Okay. In which case, just remember also, I think technically it's a 14 because Vances have efficient casting. So
there you go, 14.
Okay. So as you fire off this bolt at the father, it looks to you in a fleeting moment of calculated coherence. And it looks at you and it says, "Was that your memory or Allegra's?" And you, as the beam impacts, it completely disapparates this figure. It reels back into one of the bookshelves, knocking over a series of paperbacks and hardcovers from the shelves before completely disintegrating.
Yes, nice. Way to go.
I think, Kiri sort of looks defiantly at sort of where this figure was and goes, I don't know. This house is the one creating imagery, not me.
We know it hates us. Are you all right?
Yeah, I haven't thought I saw my father in a while, but it wasn't him. I know.
Oh, Gabrielle, you're not looking so great. Can I cast a heal spell?
Are you asking me or Gabrielle? Or
I mean,
Both.
I'm not going to stop you.
Both. Yeah.
I probably am not sure like that you're about to do it, so no, I won't stop you. The damage is mental, though. Can you?
Yeah, your brain
tell?
looks messed up, dude.
I mean, it's always looked like that, as far as I know. It's came free with my being alive.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do 1 injury per 1 sorcery. So I'll spend 3
Oh,
sorcery to do a little healing word.
Bye.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that whatever kind of lick of kind of a scrape seems to kind of mend, and you realize that the damage was not really external so much as just almost kind of like a concussive force that would have kind of attacked the mind. But even that, I think what kind of moment of pride takes the place of that shame as the spell heals over the damage.
Oh, you're asking me what moment of pride.
Absolutely.
I think to keep it in theme with that kickback from the gun, I think we have to do the first time that she fired a bullseye, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think as you fire that, however, and you recall that memory, you see once again next to you an abscess, an absence in space.
What?
A scanning image, and you see a form clapping.
What is happening?
Okay. All of you now have free reign of the office, the library.
Well, what do we think? There any keys in here, or was this just to freak out Curiel?
Well, Allegra said that she left something for me in a place that I would know to look. And I don't know if this is the library that she meant, but it certainly is a place with books. So perhaps we look for that?
Might as well.
Sure.
You lead the way.
And she will. I think one thing she will do, though, before she leaves Adrian's desk area, is if there's a notepad or some sort of documenting paper source there. Yeah. I think in the aftermath of that, she will write in a sort of very hurried scrawl something on the paper that I think she means to kind of sink into the paper and through it, into the house itself. And what she's going to write on the paper is, "Who hurt you?"
Ooh, okay. That is an intention. Are you putting any magic into it?
Oh, yes. I would love to put some magic into it.
Okay. So, how much sorcery are you going to spend?
Let's see. There's sort of 2 things I can do here. I can either pump it with sorcery, which I can do regardless, or I can use one of my forte abilities, which is called Words of Emotion. Mm-hmm. Level 4, I speak a variety of loaded words. In this case, I guess we could adapt it to writing a variety of loaded words in such a way that they manipulate and modify the emotional state of those directed at it. I add 3 enhancements to my interaction pool.
Okay.
And so I could then spend the interaction.
Absolutely. So spend the sorcery, or you can Vancian cast it if you want to let it go. Or no, never mind. That's for a Vancian spell. So in that case, spend the sorcery, and then you gain those enhancements. You write it. Mm-hmm. You don't know necessarily. There is not a response, not one that is immediate. Anyway.
Messenger, pigeon, carrier, notepad, sent notification. Delivered, not read. Cool. Amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I think after that she will lead the hunt, kind of, I think, just sort of riffling through the shelves, looking for any sort of signs of anything out of place, anything magical or concealed, or anything that would seem to suggest a hidden facet to one of these books.
Absolutely. I think in this case, you tell me which of you are on which shelf.
How many shelves are there?
There are 3. There is the 2 at the entry point from which the father emerged, and there's on either side of the kind of entry, and then there is one behind the desk. I'm assuming, Kiri, you are at the one behind the desk. Okay.
That is
I'll be at
probably
one at the door.
Okay. So, in this case, the one at the door on the left, Maurice, you find a couple of things, which is you find a book that is entitled, and you find it in the pile as you kind of sift through. And as you're sifting through the books, not only does it strike you that these books belong to a vislae, because they are books about magic, about treatises and practices, some of them a little bit less advanced than, say, a Vancian scholar might read. But there are others that are also what seem to be kind of gray novels, so to speak. Like, you think you see a Stephen King novel on here and a Clive Barker one, as though this vislae also shared a very similar love of gray literature.
Oh, is this like a little tiny library that the house has cultivated? Like all the people who come in, like leave a book, take a book situation?
That could be a possibility.
I'm going to say Maurice gets distracted by everything gray here. And,
Can I make a pitch?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Stephen King has been to the Darkest House, and this is how he got the Dark Tower series.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Stephen King is a vislae.
Just-
Stephen King is
vislae.
the demiurge.
There's a in canon now. There's a picture on the wall, Overlook Hotel style, and Stephen King is like there among all the other people.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say, as you're kind of like rifling through this, you nearly almost toss it over your shoulder, Maurice. But there's kind of like a heft to this one leather-bound book that you find, and it is entitled Dream Eaters.
Open that bad boy up.
Oh, yeah. It seems to be a description of a creature that is unique to the blue sun. It's basically almost like kind of like a natural kind of travelogue and examination of these creatures that apparently will devour bad dreams when they are near a sleeping figure. However, the thing that you notice is that the illustrations are lavish and almost seem to come alive off the page as you look at them. Yeah.
Can I summon the Murder of Crows?
Yeah,
for a second.
Absolutely.
Hey, does this look familiar to you? This is about a creature that's also into dreams.
And are you going to try to offer the book to it?
First I'm like, no, just look at it, and then it starts tugging on it, and then I think I let go.
Yeah, absolutely. It will. You drag it into. You watch as these beaks kind of drag it into the pocket. You feel a ruffling once again. You hear the scuttling of pages, and then poof, it spits out of your pocket the book. No.
Well, thank you. How about the note? Anything about the note yet?
Close.
Ooh, all right. Love to hear it. All right, we'll check back in next week. We'll do, circle back.
So yeah, that is what you find in the left-hand bookcase. Who's taken the right? Or is anybody examining it?
I certainly can if asked. I'm definitely not a scholar by any means and would probably not know what I'm looking at.
Better than the Logivore. Or are you still a Logivore in Ochre's form?
Yeah.
That's
Sorry, go ahead.
technically speaking, the Logivore is dead.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And or transformed into the thing on the page that's been turned into words. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ironic, though, for the fate of a Logivore now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Ogress is not very contemporary. Is there anything that they recognize?
There is
The cursory glance?
absolutely there is a liquid in the pile of books that fell that appears to be in a dram that has a healthy red glow about it that you recognize. It reminds you of curatives that were used on the battlefield during the war.
A fucking healing potion? Do we trust a healing potion from the house? Yeah, I'll pick it up. Take a look at it.
I love that every time Gav has been like, no, we shouldn't trust that. Everyone's like, yeah, I'll take it. Sounds good.
Gabrielle, speaking of you and
Yes.
just the fact that you are not at all interested, you're trying to figure out what looks important.
Yeah, essentially.
And there is a smell that is masked by the musty scent of a leather-bound book, and you pick it up, and it's oddly light, and it's just a book with a big honking title on it that says History.
Well, that's specific. Let me crack it open.
It is hollowed out, and inside of it you see that there is a similar vial, but you can smell, with the book now open, the pungent aroma of a vile poison.
Interesting. Why would there be poison in here? I think she's saying that out loud, like she's showing off the hollow book.
It looked the same as what Okris just picked up?
It does not. It has a sickly green tint to it.
Okay.
Certainly not a key, but maybe worth keeping around.
Might be puzzle ingredients. I feel
Well-
like I've read about puzzles that involve poisons and antidotes and taking them in various orders, things of that kind.
Well, the question remains, would the key that we need look like a key?
Maree says, well, I mean, I do have this big brass key-looking key.
You've got one, but do all of
Do
them
we
need
need
to be
more?
that?
No, I think we should, take anything that looks useful. I mean,
Shut
if
the book.
there's and Maurice, makes a show of counting all the books in sight. There are 200 keyholes that are book shaped. Obviously, we know where to come back to.
If we can get back to it.
While-
Well, I'll keep it for now.
While this discussion has been ongoing, Kiri, you have been looking through the back bookcase, and you spot, as you're kind of looking through, there is a small, what appears to be button behind a row of books. Precisely because you have been rifling through this, you do spot one book of interest that seems to have the hint of magic about it, which is a book called Cornucopia. That once again, very finely leather bound, and has a heft to it, and it's right about when you pull that you notice there is a button behind it, on the back casing of the bookshelf.
Yeah, I think she'll sort of pocket Cornucopia, sort of hold it after sort of feeling the sensibility about it, and then I think she will press the button. At the same time as she tells everyone, guys, there's the button.
And as you click it, something unlocks, and as the shelf seems to swing like forward, as though on a hinge, as one would say, like a hidden door. And there is a alcove, a small niche behind the bookcase. And on this alcove, there appears to be a kind of a darkened niche.
Yeah, Kiri will step through.
Okay. This niche, is very lightly illuminated from the lights in this study, just barely, but you can detect the sheen of something in the niche.
I think she sort of calls back to the others. I think there's something here, and I think she'll approach the thing with the sheen.
You realize it's a fairly broad sheen. It's about, say, yay high, about the size of a human head, but flat in terms of kind of like the plane or the surface of it. And you realize that even in this like light, you see a bright array of colors. And do you pick up this thing?
Yeah.
And as you reach to grab it, you realize much less heft or much less thickness to what you were assuming was some sort of large object. But it's very flat and it's very wide, but you know a book when you feel one, and you realize that it is a children's picture book.
Is it one I've seen before?
No. It is, in point of fact, something very striking to you, which is, it is the story. It is called The Prince of Stories. And if you were to open the book, you would see one page illuminated. And on it, you see words and a very bright image. In point of fact, I will send that to you now.
Oh. I think she will call back. Hey, Maurice.
Yeah.
Have you ever licensed your life rights that you know of?
No, I'm strictly opposed to intellectual property.
Well, someone has, I think. Or do you have an agent or a talent manager?
No,
who may
what I
have
did
done
is I
that?
pretended to be my own agent. It was pretty funny. Donald Trump stole the bit. What do you got?
Here, you may want to see this.
What do
And
I see?
I think she brings you this children's book, and on the open page it says, "Once upon a time there lived a spider who was also a prince who lived in a grand, beautiful web." And facing the text, there's a smiling boy with 6 arms facing out from the page, wearing a crown like the little prince. How do you think this ends? Do you know?
Go to the last page.
As you flip to the last page, you realize that the pages are blank.
Oh, it doesn't. What's the last
Obviously.
page? What's the last page that's filled?
The last page that is filled as you flip back and then flip forward, 2 pages fill facing one another before your eyes. The imagery matching the contents of the page. Or the contents of the words, I should say.
They say, "The prince's father was a cunning, crafty king who rarely saw his son, but his mother and grandmother loved him dearly. During the day, his grandmother would teach him powerful spells and spider magic so that he would always know the weave of the world." I think Kiri looks up at Maurice. Is that true?
Yes.
You
Even
have a-
got our likeness right.
And as you kind of look, almost like a daguerreotype, the kind of color forming in droplets and then kind of forming a whole. You see the image of a dour-looking figure atop a throne with similar 6 arms, but 2 of them are folded in contemplation, and one of them reaching up to kind of stroke back the hair behind a crowned head. On the 3rd page, there is this matronly 6-armed figure who is lovingly dressed in veils and opulent dresses, who is heavy set but also jolly. And she seems to be gently embracing this little prince alongside a slimmer figure who, if you'd like to describe what this stylized image looks like, Maurice, you may.
Maurice doesn't look at the image and instead flips the book around. Who wrote and published this?
There is I think that almost as though faded and lost to time, that imagery and that information remains occluded.
Maurice is hands the book back to Kiri and says, I have no idea what to make of this. It's me. It is my childhood. Why my childhood is not yet finished? That's an interesting question.
Do you remember your childhood ending?
I suppose none of us do. Adulthood just comes upon us.
Interesting. That's how you experienced it. See, for me, it's a very clear divide. I have my childhood memories and I have my adulthood memories.
And what age did that start? 18 on the dot?
I guess now that you come to think of it, something like that. I don't know. I think I just sort of lost the in-between. Or
Why
maybe
would this book be hiding?
Or why would Allegra want me to find it? If this is something indeed that the thing that indeed that Allegra wanted me to find.
I know it's hard to believe that your old friend Maurice was ever that young, but that's true. That happened.
Maurice, you notice that Kiri once again has a nosebleed.
Oh, you gotta. He cleans it off.
Happening. I don't know why.
Maurice opens the book back up and flips to the new blank pages. Maybe waits for something else to apparate.
They seem to be apparating, albeit very slowly. Just very bits at a time. You can barely make anything out. You wonder if it will be some time before more is shown to you.
Maurice takes the book and says, "May I use this desk?"
Absolutely. I mean, it's a facsimile of Adrian's.
He opens up to a blank page and writes at the top of the page, "Many years passed, period," and waits. Maybe doodling. He's not a good artist.
You have flipped several pages forward. And text appears. Including the page number.
You've sent me something. Maurice wrote on one of the blank pages, "Many years passed," and then the text appeared. "One day the boy grew up and decided to live in the city of notions, where people and magic told stories to each other all day long."
Excellent. And
I think Maurice is going to try one stinger here.
okay.
He decides to write something untrue.
Okay.
And he writes that he took an adventure in the red and slayed demons and was a hero.
The ink does not even come out of the pen. It can't seem to make a mark in the book.
So yeah, none of you realize what had happened there, and so you just see Maurice try to write something, scribble a bit, giggle. He's so happy with himself, and he claps the book and puts it in his pocket and says, "I'm keeping this thing." Oh, I was gonna search. So I went to the alcove. I was gonna search for something. Yeah, anything else in that thing? It's an intellect roll to search.
Yeah, absolutely. Make an
right.
intellect roll.
Boop.
Yeah.
Wow, could not have a better roll. That is a 9, and the house die is a 1.
As you search around in the niche, your hands find purchase on something that Gavriel, that I think Kiri actually you missed, as you feel something in your grip that is craggy and has a number of strange surfaces. But you realize that it's about the size of just larger than in your grasp your hand.
Taking that shit. What is it?
You cannot see it. Whatever it is invisible to you.
Gabrielle, what am I holding?
I turn around.
As Maurice kind of produces his hand for your examination, you see what looks to be like almost a figure, like a winged gargoyle that's gauzy and insubstantial, as though you can barely see it.
It's like a gargoyle, like a little tchotchke.
Does this mean anything to me?
It does not.
Huh.
What,
Well, I'm
catch
gonna
us
take
Shinedown?
this too. Maybe this is also a key. Also, that sounds cool. Gargoyles are cool.
Yeah.
The rest of us see it?
Uh,
Or just Gav?
I think just Gav in this case. However, you realized made a very thorough examination of everything in this room, you feel.
Shall we try our luck?
There is the door from which the father entered.
I think Kiri does one sort of last scan of the shelves. Is there anything else that sort of calls out to her, pops out to her based on her sort of archival librarian instincts or knowledge?
I'll say this. You do find a scrap of paper that is with writing on it in a vislae in a hand that you don't recognize. The contents of that we will cover later.
Okay. She'll pick up the paper and pocket it, along with both scraps of the Allegra tapestry that she's found.
Excellent. Okay.
And she'll take the cornucopia book with her as well.
Do you all open the door and exit out into the hallway?
Gav certainly does, yeah.
Okay. As you exit out into the hallway, you are greeted by a familiar sight, which is you see the area that you basically damaged and destroyed a portion of the wall in order to access a hidden elevator shaft. Once again, Gabrielle, you see it almost walled up, gauzy, insubstantial, as though half existing, half illusory. However, the damage that was incurred has been completely patched over. And what greets you again is the sight of 2 additional doors, one of which is large and mix of copper and brass. Double doors on which are 2 large ornate circular knockers.
If there's no other option, then I'm gonna open them.
As
No one's gonna say nice knockers.
I was trying so hard, Bill. I was trying to be good, and you have to fucking ruin it.
You pull at the door, both at the knockers, and then you realize that there seems to be a keyhole, a catch, kind of aligned with the center of these large brass rings.
Oh, now might be a good time to use that brass key.
Good idea. Maurice retrieves it. Does it fit?
It does, and it turns. This massive brass door, as you kind of barely have to pull at it, it opens, and you see in front of you a gallery with white walls bedecked with a number of paintings. Through the center of this long room, you see a gold and red carpet. And at the end of it, you see a lithe, sinewy figure that appears to be smoking some sort of pipe before it puts its arms on its waist. What would appear to be a normal humanoid figure, save for the head that has been replaced by a large, almost deer covered in antlers figure. A head, essentially a skull in lieu of what would normally be any sort of human or humanoid head. And in a smoky voice, this figure says, "Ah, appreciators of art, I take it." And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Well, I think we found the curator, folks.
So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in with us. We are on a tight schedule tonight, so we are going to go ahead and close out without shout outs and plugs. But at the same time, I do want to go ahead and say that we are all hoping that you guys are enjoying the return of the series. We're going to probably have another episode ready for you guys to watch next week at the same time on YouTube. And we're really hoping that this will mean an end to our Dark House interlude and maybe the start of the very final arc. So in the meantime, y'all take care of yourselves, take care of each other. And from the bottom of our hearts, may the invisible sun shine on you all. Thank you, and good night.